Hello, I am your teacher, Mr. Pacitti, and this is my classroom here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So put away your mobile phones, put away your Kofi Kingstons. It's time to concentrate, it's time to study. This is SmackDown Live, and this is graded. We kick things off in the ring with Shane and Stephanie McMahon. Shane says that he can feel it in the air tonight. Because there's a contract signing for the WWE title match at Fastlane. Shane massively bigs up Kofi Kingston, calling him an overnight success over the past 11 years, a line that I really liked, and then they show a few clips of his various accolades, from his debut to his bloody Class Rumble spots to his mid-card title wins to his time with the New Day and of course his win last week, which set this match up. Then out comes Kofi Kingston himself, flanked by Xavier Woods and Big E. He runs around the ring numerous times, doing the whole bloody big baby face, touching everybody's hands. Lovely, lovely stuff. And commentary very much putting over how much Kofi Kingston deserves this spot. Kofi then grabs the mic, says that he's going to beat Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, become the WWE champion, and give us the WWE Universe, what we've wanted for so long. Sure, a lot of us didn't realise we wanted this until maybe a month ago, but that's not important. Daniel Bryan gets the contract, he signs. Kofi Kingston is about to sign when all of a sudden, no chance! That's what you got! Up against the machine, too strong! Greedy politicians by puppets! Shout out to Matthew. Vince says, hey, Kofi, you're great, you're truly remarkable, but I've got someone better. I've got someone who's a bigger box office draw, and that is this man. Why am I doing all the themes? It's Kevin Owens, he's back! So out comes Owens looking all grumpy, like no bowling ball in his hand, no firstborn son on his shoulders. He just goes straight into the ring, walks past all of the New Day, they're going completely bozo. He signs the contract, and then the New Day, upset, they walk to the back and there's a stare down between Kevin Owens and Daniel Bryan. Backstage, Kevin approaches Shane and Steph and says that it's great that Vince recognizes his talent, but tonight he wants to team with Kofi Kingston to take on Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Steph says, I'll consider it. I don't know why I did Matthew Wright's voice there. She'll consider it. End of segment. So lots and lots to talk about here. A huge number of people are very upset at Kofi's removal from that WWE title match, and I can understand why. But at this point, I think it's a very good thing. It's confusing, right? Because WWE seem to be positioning Kevin Owens as a real babyface, the everyman. But I think what we saw last night was actually just a clever way of keeping Kofi Kingston's momentum going all the way to WrestleMania. Fans are outraged, and Kofi is the biggest babyface in the WWE right now. Becky doesn't count, she's a tweener. So, if Kofi Kingston were to win the WWE title at Fastlane, great, that would be a nice moment, but think about him winning that WWE title at WrestleMania. How much cooler would that be? I'm giving this an A- because at this point, and I have to stress, at this point, this booking is perfect to set up a match for Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. Fingers crossed, in my mind at least, that will be a triple threat, because the juxtaposition of Kofi winning a triple threat match for the WWE title after Bryan did it all those years ago would be wonderful. That's a lovely image. The minus here is because, hey, I was looking forward to seeing Kevin Owens as a babyface, and if you're going to position Kevin Owens in the way that he was positioned last night, then the fans are never going to accept him. The guy took away the biggest spot from the biggest babyface. Yeah, that's not the way to do it. And also, didn't Kevin Owens headbutt Vince? Why is Vince bigging him up? Next up, it's time for Cesaro versus Johnny Gargano, except it's not. The Bar are in the ring, and then the Hardy Boys music hits. Both of them come running out. Great to see Matt back. He is looking in fantastic shape. The match is in fact a tag match, the Bar versus the Hardy Boys, with a Z. Maybe they realised that Cesaro versus Gargano could be a big money match, one that it's worth holding out on. Maybe they just wanted to bring Matt back as a big return in his home state. Maybe it was just Vince being Vince. Who knows? I don't. Never met the bloke. Hardys end up picking up the win following a really fun match. We saw a whisper in the wind, we saw a twist of fate, we saw a swanton bomb. It's like 2000 all over again. And as I say, really great to see Matt back. You are looking fantastic, Matt. Have yourself a B. Yes! That's Matt Hardy, yeah. Next up, it's time for a US title open challenge. The champion, R-Truth, that still feels weird to say, invites anyone from the back to step up and face him. Who answers? It's none other than Andrade, but not just Andrade, because out comes itty bitty Ray Ray and attacks Andrade from behind. It's a triple threat match. R-Truth, Andrade, Rey Mysterio. As soon as this was announced as a triple threat match, I immediately thought, hey, this is a way of Andrade and Rey having another match, making it a little bit different while giving R-Truth a bit of TV time and letting Andrade and Rey do the majority of the legwork. And I was right, but also it was a lot more fun than I expected. Truth, who is now John Cena's biggest fan, hits a 5-knuckle shuffle midway into the match. There was a great Hurricane Rana spot, and R-Truth picks up the win with a roll-up, that cheeky little scamp. I'm actually going to give this a B+, because it felt short, but it wasn't especially short. I think the phrase I'm looking for is time flies when you're having fun. And as we all know, I know fun. After the match, Andrade attacks Rey. Rey makes a bit of a comeback, goes for the 619, but Andrade runs away like the little bitch that he is. And it's really good to see this feud continuing. I really, really, really want to see these two have a match at WrestleMania. Imagine a ladder match between these two. If you want it to feel bigger, put Zelina Vega or even Dominic on a pole or something. I just want to see these two compete on the grandest stage of them all against each other. They've got such great chemistry. Please make it happen, Vince. Next, out comes Charlotte. No, not the city where the show took place, the former women's champion. See what I mean? Fun. Charlotte puts herself over, saying that she always delivers. She takes some shots at Ronda, she takes some shots at Becky, and then says that she will be on Raw to be crowned the new Raw Women's Champion this Monday on Raw. Woo! That's your lot. This gets a C because it was mostly unnecessary. It was a 5 or 6 minute promo just to announce that Charlotte would be on Raw, and everything before that sort of just felt like filler. There was nothing wrong with Charlotte's delivery, but essentially the whole thing could have been summarized in a tweet or a Facebook post or a tout. Let's move on. Next up, it's time for a tag team match. Player. These NXT superstars have actually bothered to turn up. Stupid Johnny is the team of Aleister Black and Ricochet taking on Rusev and Nakamura, who gets a dark entrance. If you're going to team up Rusev and Nakamura, which already makes little sense given their feud, then having them lose almost immediately does them absolutely no favors. I've got no complaints about the match itself. All 4 of these guys are great wrestlers and they all had great chemistry. But just having them lose to Aleister Black and that Trevor man, there were other teams that could have taken that spot and it wouldn't have harmed them in that way. Hashtag we want shining stars. The match gets a B-, and I'm still a bit bothered by these NXT call-ups, for want of a better word. So earlier this week, Ricochet confirmed that all 4 of those guys, Ricochet, Gargano, Black, Ciampa, will be featured on both Raw and SmackDown until after WrestleMania. And that's fine, you know, it puts a spotlight on NXT. That's a good thing. But it's also taking away from guys who could be involved in a storyline, who are more likely to have a WrestleMania match at this point. These are just thrown together matches that they're not quite working for me. Nothing wrong with the matches themselves. It's just a weird way to debut these guys. Lacey Evans then does her thing. F. We know you're going to get a massive push. Just go away and then come back when you're going to do some wrestling. Main event time, and it's that tag match that was set up earlier in the night. Steph has apparently agreed to this one. It's Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston taking on Rowan and the WWE champion, the new Daniel Bryan. Commentary really pushing the fact that Kofi got screwed, which is a very good sign as far as his road to WrestleMania goes. He gets manhandled by Rowan, who played his role really well here, and Kofi playing his role well too. Really reluctant to trust Kevin Owens, understandably. Bryan and Rowan really go to work on Kofi via various heel tactics, painting Kofi as the underdog that he needs to be painted as should that WrestleMania triple threat happen. It's in my mind that it's definitely happening now. It's going to happen. It's not going to be Owens versus Bryan at WrestleMania. They're not going to do that to us. They're not. There was a great superplex A really wonderful superplex. The form was magnificent. And isn't it weird that superplexes just feel like nothing anymore? It's just another move, isn't it? Just another move. One day, there'll be like a 720 splash and everyone will just go, good signature, that's a good signature. Bryan locks in the LeBell Lock, but Kofi just about manages to get to the ropes. He tags in Owens, and long story short, Kevin Owens wins with a stunner. Didn't see that coming. We've already got Stone Cold Becky Lynch, and now this? What? Can't do it. This one gets a B+. The closing shot of last night's SmackDown was Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston sort of squaring off, which just reinforces the idea that Kofi isn't out of this program yet. It's gonna be a triple threat match. I'm not gonna shut up about it. I really, really want to see it. So give this time, guys. We got to. Lots and lots of people upset, and I understand why, but everything from commentary to the closing shot of SmackDown last night, it all pointed to Kofi Kingston still very much being a part of this storyline. So another enjoyable episode of SmackDown and another B+ as my final grade. I'm fed up of giving these B+ to SmackDown almost every single week. So for 1 week only, I'm gonna spruce things up a bit. Don't know what that was. I'm gonna spruce things up a bit, and this episode of SmackDown gets a B++. Revolutionary. The highlight of this week's SmackDown for me was probably the triple threat US title match. R-Truth, the highlight of SmackDown in 2019. Better finish with a joke. How does a panda make pancakes? In a pan. Duh. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and you can follow me on Twitter here. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.